Hello, I'm Andy and I'm going to read to you a program called Tarot Monthly Horoscope for November 2018, and this is for you coming from Pisces. So I'm going to start talking to you about your first 15 days of November, and I'm going to mention precisely what's going to happen to your job in these first 15 days of November for you coming from Pisces. And it's not a good card. It attracts confrontation, it attracts provocation, opposition, and unexpected problems in your job area. So tell yourself the first 15 days of November, if you value your job, you'll have to work very hard, otherwise things are going to go topsy-turvy and very bad. And if you're thinking of getting a new job, you're not going to get a good one. So you better just stay where you are and work it out in the first 15 days of November. Because anything you apply for a new job, you'll either get one which will be a problem or you will not get anything. So stay where you are, work as hard as you can, and you will be able to get your job area better in the first 15 days of November. Now the next card I pull will be for business. And it says that your fingers can get burnt, so you don't want to take risks about investments in business in the first 15 days of November. Everything will go very wrong and everything will just be reduced to nothing very much. So much can be lost in these first 15 days of November where business is concerned. Let's see what the cards talks about your general finances. It says that it's a question of the swords are crossed, which means that you are not allowed any friendliness in general finances. Going to see the bank manager won't get you very far. Trying to get business people to come in to be your partners won't go very far. So you might as well just put your shoulder to the wheel, and for the first 15 days of November just carry on what you're doing without taking any risks at all. Your general finances, let's see how they are going to be in your first 15 days of November. Well, it's a card of the Fool, which means you can be fooled, you can be cheated, you can be let down, you can be disappointed. So these first 15 days where finances are concerned, you don't want to take any kind of risk at all. You'll just end up not doing well. Now I want to talk to you about your first 15 days regarding your romance, and let's see how that goes. It's a good card. It says you might meet somebody who is doing very well financially in the area of romance. So meeting somebody like that would be good. So that's the good part of it. But for the romance, that might be the wrong reason. Is it the money that attracts you, or is it somebody attracted to you because you are doing well financially? Either way, it's the money deal that's going through. So the love cannot be very real. So that's the downside of it. Don't open your heart too quickly, otherwise somebody else with the wrong motive about finances will do that. Or perhaps it is you who might be chasing for the romance because you see that person has a big car and a big house. That would be the wrong reason for it. Now regarding marriage, let's see what the first 15 days go, and they are not doing very well. It says that some disappointment awaits you in the first 15 days where marriage is concerned. Well, don't want to be overly worried. Disappointments come and go. The important thing is that this card warns you about your temper and about your aggressive attitude and your rebelliousness. This could very well come from your marriage partner. Either way, don't retaliate and try to just weather the storm of these first 15 days. Keep low, take the soft approach, and these days will pass and nothing very bad will happen then. Otherwise, there will be a conflict that will grow and grow and grow in the first 15 days. Now regarding general family areas, this card is quite friendly in that general family area, so you might just get help from your parents or your brothers or sisters how to somehow weather the storm of these first 15 days. You might get help from them, so go and see them if you need support. That's good. I'm now going to go to your last 15 days of November. And let's see what the last 15 days, I'm going to talk about your job first, for you coming from Pisces. Oh, it's such a beautiful card. It's a card of growth. So in your job, new responsibilities and growth, or even if you are looking for a new job in the last 15 days of November, you will find a new job, or you will just find a lot of support from the people that you're working for, and even with your colleagues. It's a beautiful card that shows that in job areas the growth is going to keep you very happy, with more money and more responsibility and more promotions as well. So good news about your job. Let's now tackle the business area in you and look at this. It says you can draw many partnerships. It's a question of one helping the other. So it's a card that's going to give you so much to do in business, and the growth would be also beautiful for you. It's a marvelous card showing that opportunities and the involvement of new partnerships are seen in business. So plenty of good news regarding your business areas. Let's see what your general finances are doing in the last 15 days of November. It's not the greatest of cards, but it's good enough. Don't expect too much inflow of partnerships or revenue. It says you'll have enough to keep yourself busy. So your general finances would be just enough, but not too much into wanting to go into new business areas. That would be, I think, difficult. So be happy with your circumstances. There's happiness in your finances. Now I'm going to pull the next card regarding your romance in the last 15 days of November for you coming from Pisces. And this card regarding what are we talking about? Your romance. Last 15 days of November attracts a lot of friction, a lot of opposition, a lot of provocation coming for you. And so the romance area seems to be ignited with trouble. Past issues are also seen. So you have to be very careful, you coming from Pisces, that your last 15 days can bring up a romance to be stretched to breaking point even. Financial issues are also the target. So romance areas are not very good. And if you do find a romance with this kind of a card, it comes loaded with problems. So don't grab the new romance too quickly. Think about it carefully, because there's problem approaching you. Ongoing romance problem, new romance problem. Let's talk of your marriage in the last 15 days. There could be a third party, I have to say, with this card. There could be a third party. And if there's a third party from your side or from marriage families, obviously a friction will be shown. Or there could be also a reason why there has to be somebody coming in to bring the peace. So I can read it in two ways. Somebody needs to come and bring the peace in your marriage, or somebody is going to be involved to make your marriage even worse. So it's not a good card about your marriage. You'll have to work very hard to get things right. And if you want to keep the marriage on a good position, you tell yourself the last thing you want to do is to bring any kind of conflict, whether verbal or whether physical. Things can go out of hand. So it's not a good card in your last 15 days where your marriage is concerned. Let's talk about the general family, which includes parents, it includes brothers and sisters, whether they can be helpful. It's the card of the Fool again. So it says it's better for you not to talk about what's happening in your marriage or romance to your parents or to your brothers or sisters, because they won't understand your position and things will even get worse. So keep everything under your own control. Now I'm going to talk to you about using these cards for your lucky ages. There will be people of certain ages who will have immense good luck, whether in job, in business, romance, marriage, in anything. And for you coming from Pisces, it's a brilliant card. And it says, if you happen to be the ages of 20 or 29 or 38 or 47 or 56 or 65 or 74, you're going to be one very, very lucky person in the month of November. Very lucky. And everything you do, whether in business, in job, whether in romance, in marriage, you will be the chosen one to show success. If you are not of these ages, well, you just have to visit me one day for a 90-minute session. That's going to cost you USD 50. And in this 90 minutes, I'll talk to you about your next 7 or 8 years or 9 years, and in all areas of your life. And I'll be basing all that on your date of birth and time of birth and looking at your palms. I'll give you your lucky lottery numbers, your lucky days, your lucky directions, your lucky gemstones, a lot of information. Let's talk about that a bit later. In the meantime, this card is a very good card. And I've spoken to you about your lucky dates. The 2nd, the 11th, the 20th are going to be extremely lucky dates for you. So on these dates, you've got to get together. That's the card which I pulled earlier. It showed that as well. So your lucky dates are the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, and the 29th, if my memory serves me right. So these will be entirely very lucky dates for you. Do the bonding in marriage, in romance, and get together with the people. You'll become very happy. That was a magnificent card I pulled for that. Now I'm going to pull a card to talk to you about your lucky colors. And your lucky colors, well, they'll have to be green. Look at what a beautiful card this is. It's a card of peace and happiness. And so wear plenty of green during the month of November. It will bring plenty of good luck, whether job, business, whether romance, whether marriage. You'll be one very lucky, happy person. And lastly, I'm going to talk to you about your lucky directions for you coming from Pisces. Why lucky directions? Because 9 planets have been chosen to circle Earth. So when you look left or right or straight or back, you're going to be looking at one planet or another. And for you coming from Pisces, the lucky directions I will choose from based on this card would be southeast, which is the direction of the moon. And so face southeast when you make your wishes for anything, or when you want that extra bit of energy for your job, business, for romance, for marriage. And face southeast as much as you can in the month of November for attracting very good luck in any way. Okay? Well, I'm already Skyping and I'm charging USD 50 for a 90-minute Skype session. And I'll tackle your next 7 or 8 or 9 years based on your date of birth and time of birth and looking at your palms. And with all that information, I'll be able to get things very right for you, make your awareness very keen to know when to tackle things and when to lie low during this whole month of November. Or rather, in this case, for your next 7 or 8 years for you. And I'll tackle these ages by ages and calendar year by calendar year, detailed like this. And you'll be able to know many issues like your lucky colors, your lucky gemstones, your lucky directions, and your personal lucky lottery numbers based on your date of birth and your time of birth. I'll show you how to get them, how to deal with these issues. So I look forward to you contacting me through Skype or through Facebook or through the email, and I'll reply to you as soon as I can. So I'll wait for your contact. Until then, thank you and good luck.